right now, in fact. And I'm going to adjust my mic because yep, hello. I'm testing my mic. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's good. Okay. Yeah, first of all, usually we do more educational content. Of course, you guys might be used to more educational content than I've been putting out. I've already put this in the Discord a bunch. I'm in the middle of moving. I'll be in the new house in 9 days, and then I have a whole new office set up, and it'll be a lot easier. Things are a little chaotic right now, but we're still training every morning, still teaching as we go, so still working on Talos. It's just doing all that with the move makes it harder to make videos at night. But people kept asking, can we squeeze in a little TA course for the futures? Because we see, as you guys have seen, I'm on like a 21 win streak on futures every day, making money. This morning we made 4,500 across the futures accounts. And so for those of you who are unaware, what we're doing in these futures accounts, I'll pull it up here. Let me make sure I'm streaming my full screen. In fact, we are trading Top Step accounts. So this is prop funds. So you pay a fee. You could pay right now, I think it's like $70.
You're nice. You good? You good?
Whoa.
Somebody was chasing me, and I'm sorry.
Okay,
They
can we
shot and
mute?
fucked me
Can you
up
please go
bad.
mute?
You're not him because you don't look the same.
I'm gonna mute Josh. Please, guys, can we keep muted? We are recording. We're doing a live class. Please and thank you. So we have Top Step. Top Step allows you to pay. You can pay a fee. You could pay. It's about $70 to manage $50,000. Then you have to prove that you're consistent. Once you're consistent, you then actually trade with real money, and then you can request payouts from it. So this is really great for people who don't have a lot of capital, or even if you do have a lot of capital, it's a great way to make sure that you don't overtrade, or if you do overtrade, you're only down $70 if you blow up your account. And so what I really wanted to cover today was not really like the keys of how do you get multiple Express accounts or how do you pair them. We can cover all that into a separate video. Like when I post profits in the profits channel, I'm not making that in one account. I'm making that across multiple accounts. They're all mimicking the same trade. So whatever I post in profits for the day, multiply that by 3 or 4 or 5, however many accounts I'm running at the time. So the big thing here is with a lot of the futures traders, you guys are taking quick hits. So, you're super zoomed in and you're trading one candle at a time, right? And there are, especially in the video today, there are some candle structures that are really key, really simple ways to spot change in trend. And we just covered this today. We actually traded 2 of these structures today, where you have this large green candle, large bodied candle, right? This is the body of the candle. This is the wick. Then you have this tiny candle at the top. This is a doji candle. So if you see a tiny candle with a tiny body and a kind of large wicks on each side of it, that's the indecision of the market. If the next candle is a quick rejection or a red candle, the opposite of the first one, this is known as an evening star. And this could be a great sign of a trend reversal. So this right here could be really hard to short just off price action alone. I might not take that, but I would take this because I'm seeing the trend reversal signal and structure, and I'm also seeing the lower high in the market, right? So then the key thing that people often don't see in the live stream that I wanted to cover today is what I'm watching on my other screens. Okay. So I see that structure form and I want to know, am I going to sit in this trade and try to ride it? Or am I just going to take the quick 200, 300 and get out? Okay. Or can I hold this for a real trend? And during the live market hours, what I'm watching is multiple time frames on QQQ. Remember the NQ is the futures product for the triple Qs, right? And you could do this with with actual futures charts as well. If you wanted to pay the extra fee for the trading view data, there's no reason for it. This works just as well. Okay. So I have different time frames here, these top four charts right here. And I'll have this on one of my monitors. Okay, so I have the 1 minute chart, the 5 minute chart, the 15-minute chart, and then the 65-minute chart. And what I'm looking for is confluence across our momentum indicators here. So, like today, which was a warning sign for me to not chase higher, was I was seeing that the 10-minute was rolling over, momentum was dying, along with the 5 minutes. So, like the 5 minute is your early signal, where this solid green momentum is a positive signal. But as it turns dark green and it starts to fade, look, the market hasn't really faded. Like it still made a new high after that, but it's a warning sign that like, if I see a structure to go to the upside, I probably need to be cautious, especially when the 10-minute starts to confirm. So if you're trading with me live, you might hear me say often like, I got a confirmation from the 5 minute, but I don't have it from the 10-minute. I really want it from the 10-minute. The 10-minute confirms we can ride this, stuff like that. If we're looking for a short, or if we're trying to sit in the long, like this morning we had the 1 minute confirm the upside in tandem with the 5 minute, in tandem with the 15-minute, and the 65-minute was already bullish. But then after we got the quick pump, the 65-minute was actually the first to say, hey, momentum's dying, by 11, the 65-minute was already saying, hey, watch out. And that was at the high. It gave that warning signal. And so even if you watch that recap of how the profits were today, that's one of the best signals that I feel like, even if some of you guys follow other traders on the social medias, they don't watch stuff like this. Like no one talks about stuff like this, especially people that talk ICT or something, but it's just the simplest way to understand of what kind of momentum and what kind of trend confirmation can I get, rather than just watching the price action. It's giving you a signal of what's going on under the hood. Can I catch a real move here? Can I stick in this move? Or do I just want to try to take that quick base hit? And when I say base hit, like if we pull that chart back up, base hit would be, I take this trade. So if I entered here right when this candle formed, my stop would be over the top of the doji. Which is why I love these trades. Really tight risk, right? A candle like that, I'm probably risking like $100, and I'm looking to make like 300, right? Really great risk reward for those. So if I don't have confluence on the TTM when I'm looking at my other screen, I'll say, okay, first candle, maybe a second candle. See if the second candle gives me instant confirmation. Maybe I'll sit in it for a little bit longer, but I'm looking to get out. I'm looking for the exit, and I'm looking to exit into that strength. Whereas if I'm seeing good alignment from the market, especially like, you can see in these videos the way I'm reacting when I'm sitting in them and I'm letting it chop for a bit, and I'm not taking it when it hits, and I'm letting it run against me. When I'm doing those in those moments, it's because I have this confluence. It's not just because the structure gets me the entry. It's because I have this confluence. And if I have that confluence to the upside, I'm hunting for that structure to give me confirmation. I'm looking for something to tell me like, okay, I can get a good trade, but not just a good trade, right? Not just the confluence. Like the big thing with futures, especially if you're trying to trade these prop accounts, like if I lose $2,000, I have to pay the fee again, set up a whole new account, pass that account. I got to go through the whole process of proving I'm a consistent trader. I have to then get the email from them saying, okay, now you're approved. Now you're, a funded trader. And I don't want to do that, right? So what I want to make sure is that I let my edge play out. I want to make sure that I can get 10 trades out of this, right? Instead of 2. So when I enter trades, I want to enter them with good structure. I don't want to just say, oh, there's some confluence here, so I'm going to set my stop at a potential $1,000 loss and just see if the market's going to give me that downside move, right? Because look, this is not just today, but this is really common. Like we caught that top signal from the 65-minute, right? Even though 1 minute was starting to get really choppy up here, 5 minutes started to turn here, but the market mostly stayed sideways, right? It didn't get that plunge until late into the day. And that's where it comes to the key to like watch the 15-minute, but not just that. Also watch that the actual price action confirms, right? You kind of have to trade them together. All right. So, does that all make sense so far of what we're talking about here? Because it's a really big difference between making that, understanding that momentum, and when you should be looking to sit in a trade and let it breathe, is the difference between making 300 on a day and making 800 on a day, or 2,000 or 3,000 on a day, right? I'm looking for anything in the written chat, or feel free to unmute yourself if you have a question. Josh, I'll unmute you in case you have a question.
I appreciate that. That's my mess up.
You're good.
All makes sense. Sounds good.
All sounds good? Okay, awesome. Okay, well then the next thing I want to talk about is we cover like in our daily reviews a lot about like looking for, like, we missed this chart. We missed this trade this week actually on Walmart, but this is another really great example of, we get a new high out of the stock, right? We've covered this so many times. We had so many great trades last year that were like this, just like one after the other, when the market started to like put in that high, right? Now we've been sideways for like 3 months, but like we saw it on Walmart, right? This was one that we had last week and this week. I was looking for downside. I was looking at shorting this, right? Because on the daily chart here, we see the RSI giving good confirmations, hitting a new high on a long-term chart, but then price hit a new high late last week, and RSI didn't. And you can see the same thing out of futures, but on futures, right, we're trading such short time frames that when you see those RSI divergences, so like when I see price hit a new high, when I see price get overbought, that's not when I want to get short, right? Because lots of people teach, RSI is overbought, short, right? But it's the same concept on the shorter time frames, right? When I see something get extremely overbought, price confirming RSI actually hitting a new high, I'm actually still long. When I want to stop, when I'm going to get worried is when price hits another new high and RSI isn't, right? Because that's when you can get caught off guard, right? So you could see that like price gets extremely overbought, only has a small dip. And this is where people will screw themselves up because they're like, oh, look at that EMA. That EMA is about to break. And they start salivating and they start thinking, oh, the downside move. Look how far up it is. It's got to come down now, right? But hey, what I really want to see before I start salivating over looking for that short is I want to see price actually making another run higher, and I want to see RSI not hit a new high. Okay. And that's when I want to start looking for some follow through, right? And that's when you actually lose. As you can see, that's when you actually lost that EMA and you came down to the bullish support, right? This is a bullish confirmation line, the green one. This is the bullish support. You lose the bullish support. Okay. After that, then this became just a sloppy mess, right? Before it finally puked. And this is an unusual day. Like they just wanted to carry this higher and higher, but that's a great identifier as well for what is the actual trend without just looking at the price action, right? I mean, as most of you know, most of the time when we're the simple thing that you're going to learn in Trading 101 is this is a bullish trend, right? Because we're getting higher lows and higher highs, right? And what new traders will often do is they'll zoom in too far into this, and they'll just be looking at this one downside move and saying, oh, it's bearish now, when they need to zoom out at the bigger picture, right? Or they'll zoom in right here would be a better example. They'll zoom in on just this downside move and not realize that, like, wow, we're still at a crazy bullish trend, right? You also want to do that on futures. You also want to know what the greater structure looks like, okay? Because it's going to give you that confirmation of how strong is this move really, right? Don't get too caught up in staring at short-term price actions, and understand that although you can pass accounts just hitting those base hits, just hitting that evening star, and keep in mind the opposite of this You know, if we do, I don't know if I can inverse on this. I can't inverse on this. I inversed and then I lost it. So this inverse structure here, this is also a morning star. Really beautiful. You know, you want the big body, little tiny doji, and instant reversal candle, right? But you can pass an account just hitting those base hits, saying, "Oh, that's a good setup," taking your 200, you know, but you're going to have to take 20, 30 trades and you might get chopped up on the way. Whereas what you want to, when you're looking to level up, when you're looking to have those big days, when you're looking to be able to just take one trade, be done for the day, is when you want those confirmations. Oh, I can just hold this. And I should really give this some room to breathe and follow it candle by candle, you know. So, and keep that in mind too, because even with, you know, we have a few members. I'm not going to call anyone out, but we have a few numbers right now where like what we're trying to work with them is like they're apt to like hold their losers, and then they're like when they have a win, they're like just wanting to take those profits right away, right? And then they're like fighting to stay green all day because of that, you know. But really, if we have a trade and the trade works, like if we enter here and it immediately shoots up, for me, I'm like, okay, well, we just did a huge consolidation, you know, prolonged consolidation for like an hour. It's pretty long when you're trading futures, and we just got a massive candle breakthrough. I'm going to move to break even. I'm going to see what the next candle does. And if it stops me out and I take no losses, that's fine. Right. And a lot of people don't like getting stopped out with no losses because they had money and now the money's gone. But we don't want to have that FOMO, right? You know, like, you know, we make, you know, we made $3,000 1 hour today. You know, if we give it back because we don't get the confirmation on the move, it's okay. Because first of all, we still have 7 hours left of the day. Second of all, we have 5 days in the week. We got 252 trading days in the year, right? It's okay. You got time, right? You don't have to be super rushed. And if the market doesn't give you another setup, it doesn't give you another setup. Okay. The worst thing you could do is get super antsy about it. Okay. Let things play out. Let it breathe. Take a breath. It's okay. All right. You know, big moves like this, you want to let it go, move to break even, see if the next candle confirms. If it gives a confirmation, okay, let's say this right here is my stop loss. So I enter the trade, maybe here, you know, and we'll say it continues to go up. Next candle gives a confirmation, and I see it close here. Next candle starts to move. Okay, I'm going to move my stop, and I'm going to let that candle play out, and I'm going to stay right underneath it. Next candle forms, and it's straight up. I'm like, wow, okay, I'm going to move my candle up again. I see this one form a doji, and then it keeps going. Okay, I'll move my candle again. And a move like this, the only reason I stopped that trade is because, oh man, I'm at 1,500 and I have to follow consistency rules. So I don't really want a $20,000 day because then it makes it harder for me to get my payout, right? And that's when I close the trade. You know, that's why I'm making, you know, consistently like around 1,000 to 1,500. I really don't want to make more than that because then when I go to request my money from Top Step, they throw a fit, right? You know, so where did I stop on the Express today? Yeah, so on the Express today, I stopped at 1,100. And well, this one actually, I took a bunch of money out of that one. I took a bunch of money out of a few of them, but that's why you just want to kind of keep that consistency. But keep in mind, you know, never mind the fact that you made that in an hour and you're making, you know, if you make $1,000 an hour, you're making more than the best doctor in the world on hourly, right? Or about what they make. But, you know, if you make $1,000 a day, you got 252 trading days in the year, you're making $250,000 a year. All right. You know, even if you only made 200 a day times 250 days, okay, you don't have a boss, no clocking in. You only work a short period of time. $200 a day is 50,000. Okay, that's average, right? After taxes, okay, after taxes, you're still making 40K. You're still making more than a teacher makes. Okay, so I can't slam it hard home enough. Don't get greedy about this stuff. Okay, when you make some money, Call it good. All right. If you're up on the day, you've already taken 3 or 4 trades, call it. All right. Keep the consistency because that's what Top Step also wants to see. That's going to help you get your payout. All right. A lot of people are so rushed. All right. And I just want to make sure that we have some patience in there, and the money will come when the money comes. You know, not every day do you get a crazy move like this, and you might miss it, and that's okay. But if you are using the right entry parameters and you're just playing it candle by candle, you're using stuff like the momentum and stuff like that, you know, a good day where you make 1,500 in each account, that makes your week. For most people, that makes their month. You know, if I had all 5 accounts, 1,500 in 5 accounts, okay, that's 6,000. There's not, you know, a lot of professions that do that also give you the flexibility trading has. All right. So that's not even the right math. That'd be 7,500 a month. Okay. So you gotta have a nice sales job or something to make 90,000. Right. So, and that's only if you trade one day out of every week and you hit that 1,500. So I just want to get some perspective. I just want to have some patience because I know a lot of people watch this stuff on social media and these guys have $50,000 days, and the people who had the $50,000 days also have the 200,000 losses in one day. Okay. The people who make $1 million in 3 weeks are also the people who lose it in 2 days. All right. The people who have the fat bank accounts, who have the FU money, are the ones who are just consistently grind it out. All right. So be mindful of that. Okay. Everyone feel like they learned something? Can I get some ones in the text chat? We feel like this was productive. We did a full half hour. I covered the things I wanted to cover. If you don't have questions right now, but you think of some stuff that you want to ask about, be sure to let me know. Actually, we only did about 22 minutes. So yeah, if you got questions, let me know. But that's really what I wanted to hammer home today. And I'm hoping that I only see one in the text chat. I hope Mike wasn't just the only one who found this helpful. If you did it and you want to learn more, let me know.
Oh, I found it helpful.
All right.
I learned some.
Okay, good, Cooper. Good. And by the way, guys, the course, the website,
You already know.
the website is getting a massive update, but the course will be up. Just if you get kicked out of it while you're in the middle of working it, it's because we're also working on it. So it just might be a bit buggy. Give us another 14 days to finish with all the new updates and stuff. But that's all for Talos. So we're getting all the Talos stuff built into the website. So probably early March we'll be done with that, and then we're gonna launch Talos for our early beta users. Not public yet, but we're gonna start offering those features and get those accounts set up. We'll be in a early version of live, which will be really, really cool. So thank you all for coming. And all of this, other versions of this and more details of this. I also have a price action video where I cover more structures and stuff. I'll share that in the public chat, that as well, in case you want to learn a bit more, dive a bit deeper. These were just a few topics that kept coming up while we were trading live, and I just really wanted to hammer them hard because I've repeated myself like 25 times on this. So I just want to make one video, put it out, teach everyone, and call it good. All right. So I hope you guys, let's take these, apply them tomorrow morning, and make some money. All right.
Of course. I won't have to ask you in the morning.
Yep. Which is fine. If you do, it's fine. I'm not like, I don't want to seem like I'm coming down on
it takes
anyone.
6 times of repeating it, 6 times of writing it
Yeah,
down.
I just have to
and
see
6
it.
times
Yeah.
saying it to remember something.
I got to see it over and over. In a less stressful scenario, it's easier to look at it when I'm not trading live money.
I don't have it anymore, but I used to have like an obnoxious amount of sticky notes on my desk with no, it wasn't passwords, it wasn't anything. It was just little quotes and tidbits, stay disciplined. The one that lasted the longest on my desk said, "You're not here to make money, you're here to be a good trader." That is the number one thing I think that helped me improve is that mindset. And the mindset is like, I'm not here to, make as much money as I can on this exact day. I'm here to be a good trader. I'm here to just grind it out. I'm here to just take the setups that come, take what the market gives. And some days that means I make a lot. And some days that means I make a little. And some days that means I sit here on my hands. But if I do that and I just take what the market gives and I don't force stuff and I just do what a good trader does, I'm going to make a lot of money. And I just had the patience to do that. So,
Right.
you don't want to become obsessed with, I need the money right now. Because if you just do what a good trader does, if you just follow the rules, if you just follow the strategy, you're going to make a killing. You don't need to worry about it, And that confidence and that quote might not make sense to you, but the longer you just follow the rules and you just do it, you're going to have the confidence to say, oh, it's going to be cool. On a day when there's nothing to hit, you're just going to be like, whatever. Because that day is coming up when you're going to make, or that week is going to come up. Like we had the first week of February. I mean, insane. We just couldn't stop making money, That's going to come around the corner, and you just got to, do you guys stay the course until you hit that moment. So God bless, guys. Y'all have a good night. All right.
Good advice.
Okay.
You as
You
well.
too.
Appreciate all the info.
Yep. Thanks for coming out. I'll post this up on YouTube. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
It's a new link.
Yes.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.